G'day everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of the podcast. Today we have on Jaxon Tippett. He runs the I Am Me podcast and he's got an awesome presence on social media. This podcast was probably one of the most motivating podcasts that I've ever done. We dive deep on literally how to be the best version of yourself and a whole bunch of different tips and tactics in terms of health and fitness strategies, self-confidence strategies. And we also talk a lot about social media and the importance and social media health and how to really make sure that your relationship with social media is a good one, and some strategies and tips and how you can do that and overcome it, which is really quite fantastic. Just to let you guys know that I have some coaching available at the moment. And if you want to be a more confident version of yourself, you want to remove self-doubt, if you feel stuck in your business or your career or something like that, and you want to dive deep and learn how to have better relationship skills and upgrade your mind, upgrade your body, upgrade your business results, everything like that, shoot us a DM. And if you're interested into any of or if you'd like to apply, check the links below. And if you're interested in any of my other discounts or anything else that I have to offer, check the links below and you can see a whole range of different things there. Now, without further ado, guys, this podcast is brought to you by Eternum Labs. And if you're interested in some of the products Eternum Labs have, head to eternumlabs.com.au and enter the code in Corey with an E to get yourself a 10% off discount, also linked below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. This one was super motivating. I left feeling supercharged and excited and pumped for life. We get into all the good stuff. And if you have any questions, again, please just send me a message or send Jaxon a message. We would love to get back to you, and enjoy, guys. So I'm here with Jaxon Tippett, and we've just been talking about gut health and this DNA test that you've got, that you've just had. It's wild and revolutionary. Please continue to go, because this is very interesting.
Yeah, man. So I had, I'm just going to quickly look up her name so I don't stuff it up. I had Lucia on my podcast, and she is a nutritionist and chemical biomed engineer, gut health, gene and microbiome testing person.
What a title.
Yeah, literally. And so I had her on my podcast. In return, she said I could do my DNA. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm hell into my health. So I sent off my DNA, which I didn't know a lot about, but I literally just put a swab through my mouth, put it back in the package, sent it off to Melbourne, got the results back a month later, and the results were about a 50-page essay, literally. And I'm talking from what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, how I should train, how I shouldn't train, how much sun I should get, the way I should sleep, toxins I should take out in stuff like deodorants, shampoos. I'm talking everything to do with my body. And I've just done little bits of it because I didn't want to go to one extreme to the other. And holy fuck, I'm losing weight. My skin is clearing up. My mental clarity is insane. I can't rave about it enough.
What are some of the things that you've implemented?
So the main thing, as I said, I was doing pretty much everything against the grain. As you know, or the listeners, if you don't know, I was basically eating a very heavily meat-based diet for probably the last 5 years.
Of what? Is it chicken or
Man, I'd just do I'd do over 1.5 kilos of meat every day.
Whew!
Yeah.
What types of meat? What types of meat were you eating?
Oh man, everything. I'd switch between lean minces, chicken, turkey, just all of that good stuff, pork. And yeah, basically, so that this is number one. There was so many things I was doing wrong, but number one was I'm actually suited to a very, very low protein diet and virtually no animal products. Not vegan, but you could say virtually that, maybe pescatarian. So everything I was doing was against my DNA. I've dropped out majority of the meat. I'm just doing a little bit of oily fish once a day, and then the rest is kind of I'd say virtually vegetarian, and just so much better already, just like that. Less bloating, less gas, less inflammation, skin's cleared up. And then the other biggest factor I implemented, which I was absolutely shocked with, was my training. It actually, so for everyone listening, once again, I've pretty much done heavily weight-based training for the last 5 years. with maybe a little bit of walking, but just really, really strength-based training. And it actually said that was the worst thing for my body, that I'm so much better off with anaerobic training. So stuff like running, swimming, cycling, with just a little bit of strength training, like once to twice a week. So I've actually started running and swimming, and I'm still doing weights, but I've definitely dialed it down to about 3 days a week. And my body looks sharper and better, and it feels better.
Dude,
It's crazy.
Jinx.
And like, I'm not bullshitting, man. Like, when you hear it, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever. I am literally saying, like, it is 100% legit.
Well, it's legit your DNA, bro, and then you're just like living towards that. I think literally Ben Greenfield had a study, and he figured it out on one of his books that I was reading. It's like, if you train and eat and your environment is accustomed to your DNA, it's like all of your results and your goals, like in terms of body health and fitness, are improved by 60% or something. I was like,
Yeah. Hey, Ben Greenfield's amazing, man. I've actually been watching a bit of his stuff.
yeah, the guy's a beast.
Yeah. But for everyone listening, I don't know, like, you only really have to get the test once. I don't know. I highly recommend it.
So I'll link that podcast below, and the actual DNA test as well. I'm sure you'll send me that afterwards, and I'll send that, because you got that done in, was it Melbourne? You said you sent it off to Melbourne.
Yeah, so she just sent me the package to my house, and then I literally just posted it to Melbourne, and that was it.
Oh, that's so good, because I always do like these. The one that I've done is like international, and a lot of other people that I've had on my podcast or recommended have always like gone these international ones. And one of the things is, for me, I'm just like, oh, it just takes so long. So I'm like super impressed that there's one in Melbourne, and like really excited to do that.
Yeah, no, like, I'm not even joking. If health is a priority in your body, which it should be for everyone, this is virtually a must.
Yeah, so true, so true. I like to shift gears a little bit. One thing that I really acknowledge about you is, I reckon you are Australia's #1 best networker, hands down. like by far. You spread you spread like a real good message, and like seeing you everywhere. And I'm so like glad that we connected over social media, man. What are some of the like benefits that you've received over like, developing a skill for networking, and why do you do it?
As in, like, what have I got from brands or the audience?
Let's go both. Let's go audience and then brands. As in, like, because like you essentially created a career out of it. So
yeah, so I just do it because, so I'll start with the audience. The main reason I do network so much and show so much love and support and whatever it may be, gratitude and all of that, is I just love the response from the people that appreciate it, and the people that see my content on my podcast, and they give positive feedback, or something changed their life, or that sparked their day, and that then drives me to motivate and spark my day even more, and want to produce even more content and give back. It's like a dynamic yo-yo effect. So basically, it's, in a nutshell, it's the response I get from everyone, and the positivity is just, it drives me so hard and makes me want to get up and attack my day.
For sure. And like, what was that like? I'm really interested and really intrigued. What was that like sort of shifting transformational moment for you? Like way back when you sort of just went, man, this is what like I'm here to do, and I'm going to start spreading like as much like love as possible on social media and all the rest of it. Because I'm not sure if you know, but I did like a study ages, like I'd say a few years ago, on social media, and got like 220 people like from South Australia and around the east coast of Australia. And it was like, the results were 98% of people, 100% of people are on social media to give love. 2% of people had experienced negativity on social media. And because of like that 2% worth of people's spreading negativity on social media, it creates a fear of people like a fear within them to like share on social media and stuff. So yeah, I really want to know like that specific moment from you when you were like, this is it. I'm gonna like get into this and start like diving down this rabbit hole of love, gratitude, and spreading a good message.
Yeah, that's a really good question, man. I don't actually know when it shifted. It's just more like, I don't know. It was like, what do you get out of negativity and not uplifting others and not being polite and saying thanks? And it it's just this constant down energy stigma. And it's like, I don't know. I just suppose I started to associate with people that were doing the opposite. And I felt so enlightened, and my mood just shifted when I surrounded myself with these people that I'm like, why don't I try it myself? And it's not until I implemented it, and yeah, like literally nothing is negative about my life right now. Like when I say that, I have dark days, I have down days, I have stress like all of yous, but I turn it into a positive, and it just makes the world of difference.
Yeah, for sure. And like when you start doing it and getting on a roll with it, I'm sure it just must feel like fantastic.
Yeah, and that's why I don't know if you how close you follow my IG, but as of late, like I'm just so like vibrational with the energy you give out, you receive back, and just surround yourself with good people. Like if someone's not uplifting and matching your energy, just fuck them off. Like there's no need for it. Like literally, man,
Yeah, it's true.
it's just wasted energy. Like they're just taking all your good energy, but they're not returning it.
What would you say to people who, for example, feel that have people in their life that, you know, are a little bit draining and but they're like attached to them and they're like a little bit attached and they're like, oh, like, you know, I'd love to hang out with those people, or I'd love to spend more time with these people, but I'm constantly like dealing with this. Is there any sort of strategies that you would like, or like words of like wisdom that you would say to someone to help them overcome that or put some boundaries up?
What, as in, like they're holding on to someone that's negative?
Yeah, let's even like a friendship group, man. It could be just a friendship group. Like, oh, I'd love to hang out with these people and spend more time being positive, but like I'm attached to this group right now, and it's a bit negative, and I constantly just keep falling back into here. Like, how do I get out of that? How do I fuck people off?
Honestly, it's pretty plain and simple, and it could be harsh, but you just have to remove yourself, and just distance yourself and not talk to them again. Maybe even unfollow them. Um, it's I've done it to countless people, and at the end of the day, they're losing you. You're not losing them because they've lost a good one because they're always fake and negative anyway. So, if you feel like you're around this negative group or association, just remove yourself from it, and yeah, click an unfollow button. Don't be rude or anything, but just, you know what I mean, just leave on a positive note and say you're often off to do better and better, bigger and better things, or not even do that. Just literally just remove yourself from it. You don't even have to put a reason why, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like real sort of just protecting yourself there. What as well, man? What keeps you motivated? What do you like? What keeps you motivated, and what are you really like passionate about?
Helping people, in a nutshell, helping people and being genuine. Nothing drives and inspires me more than seeing someone smile or get a positive effect off something that I've done for them. And it can be something so small or something so big. But if I've helped someone in some way, shape, or form, uh, I think that's kind of the definition of life, happiness, and helping other people.
For sure. And what do you think, like for you personally? I'd love to like get into like if you could tell us a little bit about like a time where you've had some hurdles or like some stuff that's come up, and you've literally had to overcome them or like transcend that stuff. Like what are some of the things that for you which like has shown up that's been difficult that you've really been like challenged with and overcome? I'd love to hear like a story or about a time where you've had to.
Um, I'm sure you've heard the steroid story. Have you?
I'd love to get into it. I actually haven't. I
Yeah,
haven't heard the steroid story, so I'd love to
yeah.
hear it.
So, it's man, I've said it so many times. It sounds like I'm a ongoing.
You've just perfected the story now, man.
Yeah. No, so I'm gonna just put it into a nutshell. Obviously, I got heavily into fitness, and I was associated with a crowd that was taking steroids. They're very, very common in the fitness scene industry, and I kind of was around that crowd that was taking them, and I wouldn't almost say got sucked into taking them, as it was just like the normal.
Mm.
And that just grew to an obsession, like any drug. Any drug that you take ongoing, it usually has an adverse effect where it makes you feel good or look good or whatever it may be. So I got addicted to steroids because of how they made me feel, look, recover, and strength wise. So it just grew on over the years, and it got to the point where, I was obsessed with them. And then I never actually got into like dealing steroids or anything. It was all just for personal use. But I got caught up in it, and I actually got caught by the police with the steroids in my bag. And that happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. I didn't learn my lesson.
Wow.
And yeah, it's not until that third offense happened that, as anyone is listening, it is a class 1 drug. It does come with a hefty penalty, which is usually jail time. And pretty much on that
Whoa.
third offense, I was pretty much certain I was going to go to jail. I don't know how
Whoa,
long,
bro.
but yeah, we faced it all through the court system and that. And then I actually got let off. I don't know how. I still got a hefty fine and all of this other type of stuff, but I didn't go to jail, which was the main thing. And when that happened, it was kind of like, I don't know, I really learnt my lesson this time, because it was kind of like God has sent a signal and he's given me a second chance to go out and showcase what my body is made of and what I'm actually meant to do and live my life. And I just instantly snapped, man. Like I got off the steroids. I removed myself from the crowd I was hanging with. I changed gyms, and I've never looked back, to be honest, from then.
Man, what was that process like? Like once you sort of stopped, because I'm assuming like that was sort of one world that you were used to, and you're like comfortable sort of being there. And then obviously all of that crazy stuff happened. But actually transitioning out, I'd love to hear like, you know, like the sort of the story of like, you know, building yourself like back up again once all of that stuff happened.
Oh, very, very long, hard process, man. A lot of depression, a lot of, just felt weird, felt weak, had no sex drive. Just bad, man, just really hard. It just took a long time, to be honest. And the main thing that really kind of got me through it, to be honest, was a couple of close mates, but most importantly, my family. Just telling me, like, you know, you can keep doing this, like, it's going to get easier. You're going to be a much better person without all the steroids. And as the months went on, it just, you know, it kind of got easier and easier. And I don't know, it's like anything. Like, I think you just need to get over that barrier. And then once you're over it, everything was looking upwards.
That's crazy, man. What would you say to people like now, let's say if they were considering taking steroids and going down that path and that journey, like what would you say to people who are like thinking about it?
Yeah, good question, man. I'm not I'm not sitting here and going to say don't do them. I'm not against them. I actually still have a lot of mates that use them. There comes a time and a place, and if you're, you know, competing, that's probably the only reason you should ever be using them. Or you actually have potential to take it far in terms of sponsorships or winning money, or, you know, whatever it may be. But for the average person or someone that's just using it to try to look better, to go down the beach or whatever it may be, there's just too many side effects. There's too many cons to it. It's just not worth it. Like, you can maintain a good physique naturally through diet and nutrition, that you don't need it without the added stress and what it's going to bring to your life after.
Dude, crazy. I think that's really important for people to listen and understand, because I compete naturally myself, and like I'm not like for or against steroids. I think they definitely serve a purpose, and in exactly what you're saying, mainly in terms of like competing and stuff. But yeah, man, I think it's really important to shine a light on all the risks, that's for sure.
Absolutely, man. I'm the same, man, not for or against it, but it wasn't for me. It turned me into the wrong person. So I'm going to try to tell people wrong from right. And, 9 times out of 10, I reckon majority of people would um, probably benefit without it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so true. Well, I'd like to shift gears again, man. What are you currently working on, and what are your current goals at the moment?
So I'm currently just, man, a bit of everything. I'm an online coach, so I'm always working on that, just bettering my clients, growing a little bit bigger team. Not that numbers are everything. My podcast is a massive avenue right now that I love. I just enjoy it. Always getting big guests on. I love doing stuff like this. Like, as you know, you learn more about me off this podcast. I learn more about you. It's cool chatting to guests and actually becoming friends with them after that.
Yeah.
And then just keep pursuing my modeling, keep working with different brands and see where that can take me in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously I can see that. I see you like working with like all of the brands. How did you get into that, man? Just besides looking like a stud all the time, how did you sort of like work your way into that?
Um, I think it just come about when I just got approached by a few brands way back, when I used to do, my shirtless posts and stuff like that. And I think they just like my look. The ink come along with it. That definitely helped. I think the ink and tattoos are in right now with that type of thing. And I think I just look unique and different. And yeah, obviously I put in a lot of hard work, but I still think at the end of the day, you have to attract brands to maybe take it far. And yeah, I suppose they like my look, and I just kept working harder and harder and keep doing more and more shoots.
Yeah, and you're like pretty busy at that too. And you also share like I think with your shoots, which is really cool, and like with your Instagram and stuff, is you do share like really good messages and stuff with all your posts and everything like that.
Yeah, I just try, man. Like, I'm just trying to be the a genuine, proper, good person that puts out real content now. There's too many fake people out there.
Yeah, so true. Also, what do you think, like, because obviously you're like podcasting and you're learning like all the time, and you're up to like a significant amount of podcasts on your actual on your podcast series, which is crazy. I see it like every week. It's like, and I'm like, oh, it's like 60, and now it's like, boom, 80, something crazy like that. I'm absolutely jamming them out. What do you think are some of the most important things that you have learned from some of the guests that you've had on your show that you've like started to implement and it's really like impacted your life?
Oh man, there's just I can't really answer that. Like, there's just because every guest I get on is just so different.
Yeah.
But I probably could. Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, I've had like a lot of successful people on,
Yep.
that are doing very well for themselves, maybe even sports stars, icons, etc. And I think you just got to trust in yourself, believe in yourself, and back yourself. And that the fact that no one ever became successful from day one. Like, it takes hard work and consistency. And that's what a lot of people are missing, is they're looking for this quick fix in life, to get from 0 to 100. But it's, you might get that 1 in 100 that's like that because they're gifted or they're a genetic freak or their parents hand it down to them. But 9 times out of 10, it just comes down to hard work.
Yeah. Crazy. Do you like what would you say to people? Because I'd love to hear this. Because I find that like a lot of people and a lot of men specifically put so much pressure to be like on themselves, to be like successful. And obviously you've been interviewing all of these successful people and you understand their hard work. But people put a lot of pressure on themselves and they get like sort of really impatient with where they are now. Do you have anything to say or encourage those people that are in that position?
I think you just got to not get too focused on the future. Like, I think you just got to enjoy the now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get too like, oh, why is my podcast ranked here? Or why don't I have this many clients? Or I think you just got to embrace the now and just do the best you can each day.
Yeah, for sure. Just showing up like daily and consistency.
Yeah, just literally, like, I'm a big believer, if you win the day and you do something, a little bit better than you did yesterday, at the end of the day, that's all you can do.
Yeah, So true. Well, what do your days look like, man? I'm excited to know sort of like what your days look like, because yeah, as far as like I can see, it's like it's pretty impressive with the amount of stuff that you're getting sort of done in a day. So what are some of the things in like in your days, or like what does your day look like, and then what are some of the things that you like put boundaries around when you're like, I must do this like today to like make myself feel good?
Yeah, my days, honestly, they're so different every day because
Yeah.
it depends if I do a photo shoot or a podcast, or like it really depends. But like, obviously, I don't shoot every day. So a typical day is more like it's just a lot of messages and emails and phone calls, to be honest. And when I say like it's so, what I do though every day to make myself feel good is I always go for an hour walk and listen to a podcast or just zone out. Like I just love it.
Mm-hmm.
And my training session when I go to the gym, like I like to actually sweat and do something more high impact and intense and just put some music on. And that's something I do pretty much every day on a given. I like to have a little bit of downtime in the afternoon where I don't even look at my phone. Like I just relax with my puppy and, cook a nice meal or something like that. Like, so those three things are always based in there where that's kind of my time. And then around all of that is just, yeah, I'll just say like it could be organizing a guest for a podcast. It could be editing a podcast. It could be chatting to a brand, like multiple brands. Oh, what are we doing next week with this? Can you send me that? Blah, blah, blah. It could be checking in with a client saying, how are you feeling, or doing a diet adjustment or a phone call. So there's a lot of that in the chunk of the middle day for me. Probably 4 hours of just phone calls, messages, stuff like that. And then, once to twice a week, I will do a photo shoot on an afternoon. And basically every day now I'm doing a podcast. But
Yeah,
when I
man,
say
that's
I'm
good.
doing a podcast, I don't mean it's always on mine. Like it could be like this, for example. I'm going on a
Yeah.
lot of other guests,
Mm-hmm.
but honestly, I think there's Monday to Friday, I've done a podcast every day, like for the last couple of months.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Crazy.
man. And it's I guess it's a real good platform where you can really learn like about others and learn about yourself, which is really cool, as you were mentioning beforehand.
It's so good, man, to connect with other pages and because everyone has their own story and different unique way of doing it and their own audience. So I don't know. I love it, man. I'd go on as many podcasts as I could.
Yeah, for sure. Another like a bigger question as well is for people who are sort of at that stage in their life where they're like, cool, I want to start investing myself and I really want to like be better. What are some of the things that you would suggest or encourage or say to people who are like, okay, like I really want to start being better or like improving my life? From like your point of view, what would you say would be some of the like essential things for them to consider or think about?
To better their life,
Yeah, to better themselves, better their life. So,
cut out negative people.
again, I like that.
Nah,
Moment.
like I'm actually being straight up, man. Ever
Yeah.
since I've done it, I don't know. My life is just it's like a massive weight has just come off my chest and everything's clear and like because you know yourself if you say you wake up and all you hear or talk to or surround yourself with or see on IG is something positive, someone giving you good feedback, someone complimenting you. But when you have those days where someone's complaining about you, someone's negative in the shopping center, someone's doing this or that, someone leaves a bad comment on your post, it's just draining, you know what I mean? And
For
it's like
sure.
if you can remove that, how is your day not going to be better?
Yeah, for sure. I actually really like how you bring up IG and stuff because everyone's like, as far as I know, like majority of people I know are on Instagram. And I think like there's not sort of enough talked about in terms of like social media health because obviously it's such a new thing and like we haven't figured out the rules and systems and the mental cues and all those different things in order to, have like a really good social media health. And I think like one of the things that you've said is like unfollow people.
Yeah, I don't know, like people say it's rude, but how is it rude if they've never reached out to you or supported you but they're watching all your stories? Like it's not rude. Like at the end of the day, a follower should be a friend. if you don't talk to them or associate with them, or that, it doesn't matter. Like, you can unfollow them.
Yeah, it's such like a useful tool. Well, I'd love to understand, like, because obviously you just like unfollow people, but I'd like to, if possible, depending on like your thoughts on it, in terms of like, I'd like to know what your thoughts of like how to keep healthy on social media, because I think you do it really well.
Yeah, detox. Take
Purges, social
literally.
media detoxes.
I do them quite a bit. And when I say detox, I don't mean I do not log on my thing. Obviously, I have to log on. This is my job. I just mean detox. So when I say detox, I literally just took a week. I didn't post, did not post once. I did not comment once, and I did not like once. So at the end of the day, you don't need to do those things. And all I did was basically, I still reached out to people, checked in with my clients, and just probably decreased my stories by about half. And that's what I would call a social media detox.
Yeah, I really like that. And I think what you also do as well is like when you're on Instagram, instead of like wasting time, you are always sharing like a good message or encouraging other people, sending out some like positive comments and things like that.
Yeah, we just need more of it, man. And that's why I'm trying to do it. Hopefully people, create a bit of a community where it happens more.
Yeah, I like to thank you for that, because like you sort of really shine a light on it, because sometimes I'll just get on there and then next minute I'm stuck on the scroll and I'll see you pop up and you comment on something of mine, or I see you comment on someone else's, and I was like, that's a really good point, and then it motivates me. Then I'm like, I'm gonna comment something on someone else's like post, and then I'll comment something really nice or give it like some what I believe is like a good piece of advice or something, and I immediately feel better.
Yeah, yeah, thank you, man. Like that's literally why I do it, like literally. So yeah, I appreciate that.
No, all good. What are your thoughts as well? I'd love to hear your thoughts on vulnerability, and because I work with a lot of men, and they always like, it's not they, like all of them, but like a high majority of people find it a little bit difficult to get vulnerable. So I just love to hear like what your thoughts and opinions are on vulnerability and vulnerability on social media as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be straight up here. What do you mean by vulnerability? I know what it means. I don't.
Okay. Well, in terms of like in my situation, it's just like being real, if you know what I mean. Like being real and like sort of opening up, like you just talked about your steroid story on a podcast for the world to listen to and to understand, and it'll resonate with some people and hopefully motivate people to make some better or more informed decisions around it. That's like a good example of vulnerability, and you did that, and I find like a lot of people struggle with that, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
It's a hard one, to be honest, man. Like, why aren't they more honest about what they do?
Well, it's more like they find it hard to share the raw or real side of themselves.
I think it's because IG is a highlight reel, man, and if they, for example, if they share what I just shared, then they think that that's gonna bring them negative attention, or people might be turned off by them based on that story. But what they don't understand is I've changed from then, and I think being real and authentic actually gains you more popularity and respect, because it's just you, and everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. And like I think it makes you like relatable.
Yeah, 100%. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, me too. And I think there should definitely be like more of it as well. Like sometimes you get caught up. I do posting all the highlight stuff, and I go, oh, maybe I should share something that's like more humanistic.
Yeah, 100%. Nah, I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, right. Awesome. So what are your plans for like the rest of this year, man? Because there's like not too much left. So I'd like to know like what is Jaxon doing, at the end of this year, and what are the plans for next year?
Yeah, to be honest, nothing too drastic. I just want to keep pursuing my dream, keep pursuing my business with what I'm doing. So the coaching, the podcast, and the modeling, like just keep excelling that. I don't think there's really another need to go off to another avenue. I think I just got to keep uplifting them and get better, and just be the best I can with all of those. My main goal, though, in terms of a goal, is to buy a house. As you know, like renting is just wasted money, and I think the quicker people can put that towards, that should be their number one goal, in my opinion. Everyone, because if you can be paying off your mortgage as opposed to paying off someone else's mortgage for the rest of your life, that's a massive money saver and win. So that's definitely the biggest goal of mine.
Yeah, sure. I love that. And I think it's definitely like a part of maturing as well.
100%. Like I never used to think like that, but it's only probably as of late. And this all comes with maturity. It really does. But yeah, like it's just, that's a massive goal. And like, I wish I even knew that a bit earlier. So I started to maybe work towards it.
Yeah, for sure. And also just like quickly, just to shift gears again, because it just like popped into my head. And just then as well was like, why did you get into like the fitness industry? Like from when you were like younger, what was the thing that what was like the driving focus to get into the fitness industry and start to pursue like those endeavors within there?
Just loved, obviously I love seeing by the fact of what you put in your body in terms of food and the way you trained changed not only your physical appearance but your mental. And obviously the more knowledge I gained, I wanted to implement that on other people that were clients or friends and watch them change. And I think it's the best thing ever. Fitness is, it's incredible. It's everyone should be doing it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Have you got any like success stories?
Like myself or clients?
Either or. First one that pops to your head.
Damn. Yeah, I do. Like, I'll just do a typical weight loss because, I think there's nothing better than getting some fat off your body. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So yeah, I literally had a client of mine, Ruben. One sec. So I got the exact number. Yeah, so I've been working with him and he has lost over 60 kilos.
Holy.
Yeah. And like, honestly, man, like when you see shit like that, like obviously he's added so many years to his life. Like it's not even funny, but not only that, man, like he could barely like do anything at the heaviest weight. He was so unhappy. Like he's so much different in the head now. Like he actually has the strongest mindset because if you can lose 60 kilos, you're capable of anything. And yeah, I don't know. Just that, honestly, when I see transformations of my clients, that's what makes me go to the gym and get inspired.
Oh, bro, that's like insane. What do you
That's
think? Yeah, that's a lot of weight, man. Like, how does that make you feel, by the way, being able to help someone do that?
Oh man, like just obviously he put in the hard work. I guided him. I don't feel like it's all me, but yeah, it feels incredible, man. Like it's the best feeling ever. Like literally.
Yeah, for sure. And how important do you think as well? Because obviously to help someone lose 60 kilos immediately in my mind, as I'm just like, man, there must have been some serious like accountability and some support for you. And what I find on like social media with marketing and stuff is there's just like a lot of like sort of cookie cutter stuff, like programs and stuff out there. How important do you think it is to get a coach that's gonna like really care about you and really support you and hold you accountable as best as possible? Because like, man, to help someone lose 60 kilos, like they're gonna be fighting through a lot of self-doubt and you like helped them along the way.
Oh, yeah, like it's sorry, what did you actually just say at the end?
So
I knew, and then
yeah, so you like really helped him through because he would have been like doubting himself that whole time. To lose 60 kilos, there would have been so many periods and you're like, oh, I can't do it, can do it, can't do it, can do it. Like, no, it isn't happening. And you've helped him through like with accountability and support.
So what are you actually asking though? Like, how did I help him?
What was like how important do you think that is? Like, especially for people out there, let's say, for example, if they want to get a coach in terms of fitness and stuff, like it must be like I find there's a lot of coaches out there that like don't put in that support and that like accountability.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, I get you now. I think it's honestly number one, bro. I really do. You can have the best diet plan or training plan or whatever it may be, but if you don't keep your client accountable and motivated and check in with them very, very regularly, not this once a fortnight, once a week type of stuff. Like, I think you need more than that and give them the proper attention. They're so easy to slip out of routine that, you know what I mean? I just think it's crucial. It really is.
Yeah, how did you help him like overcome those? I mean, like obviously, like you've given him all the plans and all that stuff, but in terms of like support and all that stuff, how did you do it? Like, because that's like insane, and I think like a lot of other coaches, if they're listening, if coaches are listening to this, like to help someone go through like 60 kilos, that's a lot of perseverance from your end, man.
Um, just honestly, daily messages, weekly phone calls. When they have down days, which they do get a lot, or they think they can't do it, I just get them to. I just say, "Give me a call, bro," and I don't know. I suppose I'm good at what I do with what I say, and I just try to spark that motivation back and just get them up to, even if they're feeling down, they don't have to go train, just at least go get some steps in. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's all just communication.
Yeah, which obviously you do really well, and like not just with your clients and stuff, but also like outside of yourself. And I think you've like throughout your stories and your journey of like going through the steroids and all the rest of it is, and removing a lot of shitty people from your life is, dude, you're super authentic, man. Like you're really authentic and you're really you, and because of that, I think a lot of people can trust you, which is like a really good message.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, just be real. And yeah, there are a lot of fake coaches out there, as you know. I think you just need to, yeah, just be real and actually be genuine and love your clients and want to help them.
Yeah, for sure. And man, I think it's like a real important message. So man, thanks for coming on to the podcast today. Like it was awesome to have a chat and like go through stuff and learn all these things about you. Shared some like really good stories and stuff like that. Obviously, for any people who are listening, I'd encourage them to follow your Instagram. Is there anything that you'd like to say to my listeners in terms of like where to follow you, or if they want to reach out or something like that?
Yeah, just appreciate that, man. Just at I am Jaxon Tippett. It's all one word. And everything is on there in my bio, my website, in terms of podcast coaching, modeling, all of that type of stuff. Or just simply just send me a DM. I'll definitely get back to you. I just want to say thanks for letting me come on, man. I do like your content, and you've been getting some pretty good guests on board. I haven't listened to them, to be honest, but I will. And yeah, just keep going for it, man. Like, sky's the limit, and see how far you can take it, and hopefully we can catch up soon.
Yeah, bro, 100%. Because you're not too far. I'm sure you'll be back in the Gold Coast soon, man. So yeah, I'm excited to catch up. And thanks for the encouragement, man. And back at you, like it's just people out here trying to be the best that they can, and that's all we're doing, trying to spread this positive message, and encourage and inspire other people to do the same. So thanks for doing that, man, and thanks for living it and shining a light on it. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, no, much love, bro. Nothing but respect. And if you ever need anything, just reach out, and let's just keep supporting each other.
100%. Keen as. All right, thanks for coming on to the show, man.
Cheers, man. And thanks everyone for listening.
Dope as fuck podcast, bro.